All right, guys, I managed to get some time to record this video. So we're doing the paper pencil journal, and we're going to talk today about the left side of the paper. And as I say it, you're going to think, oh my gosh, Heather, that's so simple. That sounds so easy in some respects. But there's going to be an entire different video on why, generally speaking, this is one of the hardest sections and what it is you need to look out for. So very simple, paper pencil journal, go to the dollar store, or I guess it's still called the dollar store. Go to the dollar store, get yourself a notebook, draw a line down the middle of the first sheet, put your name and date at the top, or just put the date. You can always write your intentions and goals across the top if you want to. And on the left side, all it's going to be is what I'll call your 24-hour plan. This is the food you are going to consume just for this 24 hours. Step one, find something you consistently do in the morning. Most of us drink coffee or tea or something like that. Attach it to that. First step, open refrigerator, look inside. Second step, open pantry, look inside. The food you physically have available to you is the food that's going to go on that left-hand side. Think of your day. What's coming up today? Are you going to be at home all day? Are you going to be out traveling? Maybe meeting up with coworkers for lunch? Like, what does the actual day look like from a planning perspective, and what food is on hand? Then, quite simply, as you open refrigerator, you open pantry, and I know this sounds simplistic, but trust me, this is harder than you think. Oh, look, I have rolled oats in my pantry. So maybe for breakfast today, I'm gonna have oatmeal. Or, oh, look over here, I have some yogurt and fruit and da-da-da-da. Okay, so maybe I give myself two choices, A and B, but it's food that's physically available to you. The second part, do you have a mid-morning snack normally? Write that down. Lunch. And you can always give yourself two choices for everything. I think that's really good. Like if you think you'll want a snack and you like savory and sweet, you can always give yourself a choice A, a choice B. Again, this is food that's readily available to you, or food that you know you're going to probably get, like if you're going out to lunch with some friends, lunch option A might be a burger with fries at the restaurant, or maybe that option B will be a huge salad, right? So you're going to give yourself two choices. Mid-afternoon snack, if you typically eat it, any kinds of treats or things you enjoy. In the after or the latter part of the day, since this is where I see this showing up the most often, if you're somebody who either has any binge episodes or you find you're grazing and overeating, all of that's going to get listed on the left-hand side, just like it normally looks. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go through why it's so simple in concept, but all the things that are going to come up as you do this. I'm going to go through like the traditional problems that most people run up against. The purpose of this, writing out everything you're going to eat, is one, it gives you a plan. There's a great quote, I think it was by Winston Churchill, plans are useless, but the act of planning is valuable. It's the idea that what you write down may not always happen, but by writing something down, you're guaranteeing a better outcome, okay? That's number one. So thinking through your day helps create a situation where you're better suited to work toward your goals, food-wise, than if you have no plan at all. That's number one. Number two, the point of doing this is to also make you hopefully for the first time, begin becoming more aware of your patterns and behaviors. I have so many people who write great ideas down for dinner. They have great ideas, but then they're exhausted come 6 o'clock and they keep going out to eat. And exhaustion is a huge factor why a lot of times people don't follow their dinner plan. So what I have to ultimately do, usually the first 2 weeks of doing a paper pencil journal, it's a lot of people coming to grips with the reality that they're not really doing all the things they thought they were doing. They're starting to see patterns emerge that maybe they didn't want to see before, like they would normally stop tracking, so they didn't see it. Now they become aware of it. So there's a lot of good, valuable information you're going to get from this. Also, because so many people are inconsistent with tracking because they're usually focusing on calorie numbers first, not habits, or points, not habits. And they're not being honest and writing down their quote unquote worst day. There's really no place to improve. So most people do not open up their food tracking app and put their worst day in there. Like, oh yeah, today's gonna be a 4,000 calorie day. Here's my nighttime binge. Here's, me eating out 3 days or 3 meals for today. Like, people don't want to see that. So because they don't want to see it, they just don't journal. This is a very low-hanging fruit way to get somebody into the habit of journaling, number one. Number two, for them to be able to see improvements. So if somebody's binging and I ask them to list out a traditional binge, it might be a half gallon of ice cream, package of cookies, 2 bags of chips, whatever. Once they write all that out, every day they see it, they can choose not to do it. That often for people is the first exposure they have to having a win with their food journal versus everything feeling very punitive and like a mark against them. So I really, really like this approach for this reason. So anyway, in our next video, we're gonna get into the issues that most people run up against with the left side. What is it I should put down? Why often we struggle with that? And then we'll eventually get to the right side, which in my opinion is the way easier side. All right, guys, you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.